We're kicking off with AEW, and when Adam Cole and Britt Baker began dating in 2017, they quickly became one of wrestling's favorite power couples, and their relationship was spotlighted on 2023's AEW All Access. With their chemistry and success in the ring, fans believed the couple would be destined to be together, but that was until last year when it was revealed the pair had called it quits. Now a bombshell allegation has come to light, as on his Keeping It 100 podcast, Konnan said he was the first to report their breakup, despite facing criticism from skeptics at the time. Konnan also claimed that Baker had cheated on Cole, that resulted in the two ending their relationship. He said, "I was the first one that said her and Cole had broken up. They were on me again. Now you see it's true, and I'm gonna throw this little one in there. A very credible source said it happened because she was cheating on him." This is a major allegation by Konnan, especially as Baker and Cole have publicly supported each other despite their split, with Cole reassuring fans that the pair remain very good friends. On social media, Britt Baker fired back at the accusation that she cheated and made clear she's not here for any baseless rumors. She wrote, "I understand we as performers are expected to have thick skin through opinions and lies we read about ourselves, but spreading lies about my personal life is just low, weird, and something I won't tolerate. I've never cheated on anyone in my life. Hashtag tell your source." Neither Cole nor Baker have gone into full detail about what led to the breakup, but the former women's champion has made clear that she won't let these rumors slide. It's always sad to see a promising relationship come to an end, but both Baker and Cole have the right to share as much or as little as they wish about why their relationship ended. As for Konnan, time will tell if he can produce anything more substantial than an anonymous claim, as Britt Baker has vehemently denied this shocking claim this week. Baker has not been seen in an AEW ring since November of last year, which has been a surprise for many considering Britt was once seen as the top woman in the entire company. In addition to the Baker-Cole relationship, AEW All Access teased heat between Britt and Thunder Rosa due to Rosa holding the AEW Women's World title while injured. On the same episode of Keeping It 100, Konnan claimed that Rosa had told him that she's ready to fistfight with Baker, although he believes now that cooler heads have prevailed. Konnan suggested that since Rosa allegedly told this to him, she may have said it to somebody within AEW, and that may have resulted in tensions between Britt and Rosa being calmed down. Speaking on Busted Open Radio in April 2023, Tony Khan acknowledged issues between Britt and Rosa, saying the pair are never going to get along or be friends. Baker and Rosa have kept their distance on AEW TV, and it'll be interesting to see what Rosa has to say after this stunning claim by Konnan on the DMD. But what do you make of this? Do you believe Konnan's claim that Rosa was ready to fistfight with Britt Baker? Share your views in the comments below. When the Wyatt Six debuted on Raw last year, they were immediately pushed as a must-see group, but as of late, the Uncle Howdy-led faction has vanished from TV. The group has been transferred to SmackDown as part of the transfer window, though fans are yet to see them on the blue brand, raising questions about what's going on. On the Hump, Sean Ross Sapp said that there's a reason fans haven't seen the Wyatt Six as of late, noting that he believes one of the group is sidelined with an injury. Sapp didn't state which member, but the group was last seen in action at a live event on December 29th, where they defeated Karrion Kross, AOP, and Scarlett. With the group missing, their feud has been wrapped up with the Final Testament, and on Raw, Karrion Kross shared that he's now focused on Sami Zayn and Seth Rollins. Are you missing the Wyatt Six on WWE TV? How would you like to see the faction be brought back after the setback? Share your thoughts in the comments section. It was at the 2023 Royal Rumble that fans last saw Alexa Bliss in the ring, and after she gave birth that November, fans quickly began speculating on when she'd return. Now, over a year later, there's still no sign of Bliss, but fans eager to see the goddess nearly had the chance to do so just not that long ago. PW Insider reports that Bliss was set to return a few weeks ago on Raw in San Jose, and her storyline would have tied into the Wyatt Six faction despite their ongoing absence. Before the show, however, WWE Creative was told to scrap plans, and with the Wyatt Six now moving to SmackDown, WWE's creative direction for the group is completely separate from Bliss. Sources share that the decision to halt Bliss's return have nothing to do with creative issues, and Bliss was fully ready to make her comeback earlier this month. Though some believe that this pause could be due to a contract issue, that hasn't been confirmed, and Bliss is currently under an older WWE deal from before she took time off. Fans eager to see Bliss return in the Women's Royal Rumble will be disappointed, as the report adds that she is not included in any creative pitches for the 8th annual Women's Rumble. WWE's women's division is perhaps the most stacked it's ever been, thanks to high-profile names like Nia Jax, Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, and Tiffany Stratton, as well as engaging stories as of late. The imminent returns of Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch have fans excited to see what they bring to the current women's division, whose work has been commendable on Raw and SmackDown. With so much going on, including these upcoming returns, Bliss's own comeback could risk her being lost in the shuffle, which could be a reason Triple H's team scrapped her return for now. Bliss was supposed to be back in the mix, but now her return to WWE is completely up in the air, and whatever the reason, WWE has put the brakes on all plans for the former champion. There's no word on when or if she'll be back anytime soon, and while a Rumble appearance is unlikely, there's still plenty of time before WrestleMania 41, and anything could happen. Do you think Bliss will make her way back to WWE soon, or is there more to the story? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Last weekend, PCO smashed the TNA Digital Media title with a sledgehammer at a GCW event, and now the company removed PCO from the roster section of their website. Not only that, but the TNA Digital Media title is also missing from the page, leaving fans to wonder what's to come for the title PCO was supposed to lose before his contract expired. As we previously reported, CM Punk's comments about the dusty Hulk Hogan was not scripted, but now we know how those backstage reacted to the unplanned line. Despite speculation of backstage heat, Fightful Select has confirmed that Punk was not criticized for the line, which earned a huge cheer from the crowd in Dallas, Texas. Those backstage reportedly laughed at the line, which saw Punk threaten to kill Hulkamania should Hogan enter the Royal Rumble, and no one was upset with Punk about it. There will be no punishment or reprimand for Punk about this comment, though should Hogan and Punk meet, how the pair react after this scathing line remains to be seen. Now, the WWE TNA partnership has already seen plenty of crossover, and on tonight's edition of Impact, the Rascals will challenge Fraxium for the NXT Tag Team Championships. On the Hump, Sean Ross Sapp talked about the partnership and said that a title being won by someone from another promotion could very much happen. He explained, "Yes, I do think talent will win gold from the other promotion. I think the Rascals stand a very good chance. I had been told a year before, so Zachary Wentz got booted from NXT in conjunction with an issue with his ex, which was ineffectively proven wrong to the companies. There was some colorful things that had emerged throughout then as well. After that, I was told, we like him here, the door's open for him here, and pretty early into that, they gave him the opportunity to come back as part of this NXT TNA talent exchange. Now I think we can absolutely see them win the NXT Tag Team titles." Interestingly, the Rascals earned a shot at the NXT Tag Team titles last year, but the match was ultimately pulled, and we'll have to see if Wentz and Miguel can win the titles later today. There's plenty of fans who would love to see a huge title change like this happen, but do you want to see the Rascals win the titles, or should WWE push a different team? Share your thoughts in the comments. The last time fans saw Ricky Starks on AEW TV was on the March 30th edition of Collision, and ever since then, fans have been wondering what's next for the former tag team champion. Fightful Select has confirmed that Starks originally asked AEW not to pick up his option in late 2023, but AEW ignored the request and extended his contract by another year. Now, Ibu of Wrestle Purists reports that Starks requested his release from AEW months ago, but that Tony Khan denied it, leaving Starks to wait out the remainder of his contract. Ibu added that things happen to where he's on the outs with AEW right now, though Fightful has clarified multiple times that Starks hasn't turned down any creative plans by the company. Despite not being used, Starks was blocked from working GCW shows, allegedly due to a comment he made about Khan's father, but is still allowed to work independent dates. Starks was even spotted at AEW Full Gear and was said to be welcomed by talent, but this appearance backstage did not result in anything improving in his relationship with AEW. Starks' deal is set to expire in the spring, and Fightful Select has reported that WWE is very interested in bringing him to NXT, which would mark a major shift in his career. Starks himself has said that he's not been told by AEW about why he isn't being used, but with his contract ticking away, we may have seen the last of the Absolute One in AEW. With John Cena kicking off his retirement tour earlier this month, all eyes are on who Cena will wrestle, with plenty of names already eager to face the 16-time WWE World Champion. CM Punk, The Miz, Randy Orton, and TNA's Joe Hendry have shown interest in facing Cena, but one name synonymous with Big Match John that fans can rule out is Kurt Angle. On the Insight podcast, Angle was asked about one final showdown, but made clear that he can't wrestle anymore and is retired, ruling out a match with his former adversary. Angle hasn't wrestled since 2019 and has often said that he doesn't want to risk damaging his legacy by having matches where he's unable to give his best in the ring. On top of that, Angle continues to deal with health issues stemming from a hard-hitting career in the ring, and the Olympian will enjoy Cena's farewell tour from the sidelines. Over to AEW Dynamite, as the show's opening contest saw the tag team championships on the line as Private Party defended the gold against Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley. Though the crowd was split at first, it was clear that the fans got fully behind the brutality of the Hurt Syndicate, all while MVP called the shots from commentary. Though Zay and Quen fought hard, Shelton Benjamin more than held his own, and a pair of spears from Lashley would seal the win and see new tag team champions be crowned. The right team won in this match, but the veterans did their best to make Private Party look great, which is more than can be said of AEW's handling of the now former champs. Having just 2 title defenses in just under 3 months did not allow Private Party to stand out as champions, and it's hard to not see the duo as transitional champions. That doesn't take away from what was a great match, but it does show a lack of foresight with AEW's tag team division that has hurt this part of AEW for some time. Hopefully AEW will do much more with the titles now that Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin hold the gold, and will allow names like Private Party, Top Flight, and other rising teams the chance to step up. Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay were on the show for a face-to-face encounter as the pair planned on settling their past issues so they can work together. The pair have been feuding with the Don Callis family, though it seems the Omega-Ospreay partnership was doomed from the start as neither could forget their history. Callis came out with Kyle Fletcher and Konosuke Takeshita, and while Omega rushed straight at them, Ospreay hesitated before joining in on the brawl. The Murder Machines arrived to help Fletcher and Ospreay, resulting in a 4-on-2 brawl that spilled into the crowd and around the arena. Omega and Ospreay began showing genuine cohesion in the brawl as they put Lance Archer through a table before focusing on the rest of the Callis-led faction. Will Ospreay climbed to the bleachers when Omega went up a lighting truss, and looking like an actual tag team, the pair hit stereo moonsaults to take out the entire Don Callis family. The heels may have had the numbers advantage, but Ospreay and Omega showed they're not to be messed with, as it was the unlikely pair standing tall this week. In the main event of Dynamite, Cope faced Pac, and the Rated R Superstar showed that he can still deliver in the ring as a singles wrestler. The pair fought on the outside until Pac sent Cope neck first into the steel of the apron and stomped repeatedly on his neck until the referee forced him off. This localized attack sold a major vulnerability on Cope's part and teased the possibility of a loss, but Cope got back into the action with a clothesline and impaler. Cope would rally and get the win after a pair of spears and a TKO-style stunner, a move previously used by Cope's former friend turned rival, Christian Cage. A video was shown of the Death Riders, who had FTR's Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler taped to chairs back there, as well as the Rock and Roll Express, who were also tied up. Claudio Castagnoli delivered a concerto to Ricky Morton, and Jon Moxley spoke into the camera, telling Cope to stay where he was. The Death Riders attacked Cope in the ring, leading to Jay White to appear to make the save and take out Claudio, Wheeler Yuta, and Pac. When he tried a Blade Runner, Yuta floored White with a low blow, and Moxley warned Cope that he was going to break the neck of the WWE Hall of Famer. Dynamite ended with the Death Riders standing tall as tensions continue to build toward an inevitable AEW World Championship match between Cope and Moxley. MJF came out to address his recent war of words with Jeff Jarrett, in which he insinuated Jarrett was exploiting his friendship with Owen Hart to get a huge send-off. That line led to the pair fighting, and this week MJF demanded that Jarrett apologize to everyone, including him, for throwing hands with the former AEW World Champion. MJF made clear that his plan was to manipulate Jarrett into becoming AEW World Champion, believing that Jeff holding the gold would give him the easiest path to a second title reign. Now, though, MJF dismissed the idea of Jarrett coming close to the title and stated that neither the wrestling business nor the fans love Double J anymore. MJF's final line was a warning to Jarrett, saying sometimes it's better to make a deal with the devil than defy him, as their feud is far from over. MJF is confident that Jarrett will get nowhere close to a title reign, but this week's Dynamite saw the Hall of Famer take a major step into making a match for the AEW World Championship a reality. Jarrett called out Jon Moxley, but Claudio Castagnoli attacked him from behind, and the pair agreed to a match for next week, and if Jeff wins, he gets a title shot. Jarrett and MJF were both significantly better than last week's long promo, but Jeff is still not delivering like he should, as the veteran was stumbling over his words and struggled to keep the crowd. The Death Riders focusing on keeping the title is better than their vague war with AEW, and Jarrett vs. Castagnoli should deliver next week. For a few weeks now, it's been hinted that Brody King, Buddy Matthews, and Julia Hart will be moving forward and remain a group without Malachi Black. Will Ospreay and Cope have urged the trio to take the initiative and do their own thing amid reports that Black's time with AEW is set to end if it hasn't already. On Dynamite, Hart faced Jamie Hayter in the second match of their feud, and after Hayter got the win, she showed respect to her adversary. Jamie talked about how, despite her violent behavior, she respects Hart for doing her thing, and said that Hart is a great in her own right, even when she's flanked by King and Matthews. Hayter also hinted at a rubber match, as the pair are tied at 1 win each, but the most interesting part of all of this will have gone unnoticed by fans. During Hart's entrance, her theme song underwent a subtle change, with a lyric going from "The House Always Wins" to "The Heart Always Wins." This is the latest tease that the House of Black is done, and comes after Brody King filed a trademark for the term Hounds of Hell, which fans believe will be the faction's new name. Once again, AEW has subtly shifted away from Malachi Black, and whatever plans are in store for Hart, King, and Matthews, don't expect them to involve the Dutch wrestler. Ricochet distracted Swerve Strickland in his match with AR Fox before Prince Nana ran him off, and despite Fox getting close to an upset, Strickland delivered a Swerve stomp for the win. Ricochet interrupted the celebration, threatening Nana with scissors, and the self-professed landlord in AEW vowed to speak his mind on next week's show. Swerve gave a promise of his own, as he said he'd get to Ricochet before their match in February, and a show of respect with AR Fox teased their friendship may be fixed. Hangman Page made quick work of a local competitor, and after the match hit the poor soul with Angel's Wings, the finishing move of Christopher Daniels. The fallen angel arrived in a neck brace to share that he would never wrestle again following the death match that the Cowboy won during Collision. Hangman was visibly shaken after realizing he had retired Daniels and pushed the camera out of his face in an interesting development for the former world champion. On Dynamite, Samoa Joe is supposed to face Nick Wayne, but unfortunately Joe's first match in AEW in months has been put on hold due to factors outside of AEW's control. On Twitter, Tony Khan shared that due to flight cancellations stemming from winter weather, the match had been postponed, leaving fans to wait longer to see Joe back in action. Were you disappointed that Samoa Joe versus Nick Wayne didn't take place during this week's edition of AEW Dynamite? Share your opinion on this down in the comments section. Not long ago, reports spread online that WWE was working on its own Evolve show, an idea that the company first filed a trademark for back in late 2020. Since then, fans have heard little about the show, named after the former independent promotion, but Mike Johnson of PW Insider now reports that WWE Evolve is still in play. The report shared that nothing had been confirmed so far, but that independent stars have been contacted about appearing for a taping of the show. Unfortunately, the date of that taping was postponed, and there's currently no dates listed internally for WWE Evolve tapings or when fans can expect it on air. Gabe Sapolsky will lead the creative for WWE Evolve, and the report shared that it would be surprising if something didn't happen with the brand ahead of WrestleMania 41 this April. And we're ending with Corey Graves, who was right where I want to be when he returned to the NXT commentary table this week, and now Graves has also been brought back to WWE Speed. After missing last week's episode of the Twitter exclusive show, Graves called the action this week, another sign that he and WWE have come to an understanding after his recent remarks.